Oh yeah. So, well, we're in there's another massive game for us before the international break, and the games are coming thick and fast. Where every game seems like a cup final, and I think we're really enjoying that situation. Uh, we are going into this game. I don't think we're any different from where we were from the last game. I think Leo's 22 minutes will help him play even more minutes against DC. But whether he's ready to start, I think that's something that we'll need to look at in the next couple of days. I think the team fought under under difficult circumstances, starting a game one day, finishing it the day after. 2.5 hour delay is never easy for both teams and officials. So I thought both teams, fought for the victory. We beat a really good team, and we shouldn't underestimate that. The confidence from that should be massive. And we're going into a game now where it's another must-win game, and what we'll have a situation where we'll see all our probably challengers play the day before, so we'll know exactly what we need to do. And it's the team that's going to keep most control, emotionally, mentally, physically, and that will probably have the success at the end of the season. So the next big game for us is against DC, playing against a team that's. I always think it's dangerous in this league. I spoke to Kelly Porter the other day. He said there's no easy games in this league. There's no game where you say we will win the game. They're all difficult, and they are obviously in a state of transition, new manager, and they will not want to lose at home, and so it makes it even more difficult because the pressure will be on us, not them. Yeah, well, there was. I always think that some of our best games this season are being against teams above us when the pressure's been off us. So now, the expectation has been on us. But I felt that the other night against Columbus. I felt as if the whole of the club and the whole of the stadium had that feeling that it was must win, and we just had to remain really calm. We knew with our home form, we know at home that we were always gonna. We always score late goals. We always score late on. We're a team that grinds out results at home, so we just had to remain in control at home. But it was a must-win game. Sunday's no different. Yeah, we've got to keep the momentum. We've got to keep the ball better. We've definitely got to keep the ball better. I think we did that in the second half. The what we've realised and what we've learned is a big thing for us is the heat and humidity in Florida. It saps teams out. It means that in second half games, teams do tend to die a little bit more than we do, and we're used to it. We're durable to that. So that was our experience. I thought the biggest thing in these situations is probably sometimes not how you play, but it's the character and spirit and determination. Last 4 or 5 games of the season, almost the result becomes more important than the performance. But we want both. We want both. That's the expectation of me as a manager. That's the expectation of my coaches, and of everyone around the club. So we want to attack. We're going to go for it. That our attitude hasn't changed to that, but we've just got to remain in control. And we've got an outstanding group, a group that I trust more than probably any other group I've worked with, and I think they're ready for it. Well, I think we're a long way from any kind of talks with any player. I think we've got players that are coming to the end of their contracts. We've got players that are, that will want to know about their future. But I think what we've done, we've made a decision that we'll put all them talks to the end of the season. I think Gonzalo's playing his best ever football that he's shown it into Miami. And it's not just the football, it's his enjoyment in the football. It's his enjoyment of being an Inter Miami player. It's his enjoyment about being a part of something really special here with a group of players that do think that he's a legend, that do give him the utmost respect, that do look for him for leadership, that do look for him for advice. And I think that's really played a massive part in the turnaround for him, is that he's got a group now that are singing and playing to his tune, because they look up to him so much. And what we need over the next 4 games is for him to lead the team like he did against Columbus. Well, yeah, because, I think you look at the 2 games ago, they played a 15-year-old, and people said, "Oh, that's amazing." Well, Wayne was a 16-year-old, just turned 16. So Wayne was a 15, 16-year-old when he made his debut. So I think if I was a young player at DC United, I'd be thinking, well, I've got a real chance now of breaking through, because I've got a manager that believes in blood in young players. He knows the league. He's obviously gone into a team that was struggling, that lacked confidence, that obviously needed probably a transition period, and I'm sure he'll get that. But he's put the hard yards in as a coach. He's not just become the leading goal scorer of all time for England and Manchester United, and then just walked into another club. He went to Derby as player coach, then he became manager of Derby at a situation that was far worse than what he's at DC. He's got experience of suffering. Because of the points deduction, about all the problems they had at Derby. So he's putting the hard yards in and getting great experience as a young coach. And I think that shows exactly what he was like as a player. He worked harder than everybody else, he grafted harder than everybody else, and he was a winner. And looking forward to seeing him, looking forward to playing against him, and looking forward to the challenge. Well, I think that my experiences in my coaching career have took me to La Liga, to the women's side, and now to America. And I think that's taught me is that you've got to respect the cultures of the countries, the games, the codes that you're in. I think that's the first and foremost. You've got to respect the history and the culture in the country that you're in. The second thing is you're also there to improve and add on to and make things better. And I think there are lots and lots and lots of things that the Premier League have took from American sports, American football, basketball, baseball, the entertainment level, the way that they produce TV shows. So I think it's not beyond realms to keep adding things to what's already great, things that are done in this country. Now, if you've never been involved in an all-star game or all-star type thing, you'd say that it was the worst idea in the world. And I get that, but also I'm involved over here when players go and play for the All-Star in the All-Star games, and I see the excitement, I see the enjoyment, and I see the fans' enjoyment, and think if I was a player, I think I'd really enjoy playing in that type of occasion. So I think there is an open-mindedness around that. From a manager's point of view, it's a disaster because you don't want your players going away. But from a player's point of view, I think they would really love it. So I think you've got to respect the culture, and you've also got to be open-minded to change. English people, I don't think, like change. Let me tell you, we're very stuck in our ways. We like to wake up at the same time and go to bed at the same time every single day, and it's created a lot of talk. And what I would say in any walk of life now is that you are allowed to have an opinion. Sometimes people don't agree with your opinion, but I think you've got to respect a opinion of certain people, and in the modern society that we live in, when somebody offers an opinion, you can be I say abused, lambasted on social media or by whatever, and it's just an opinion. The Chelsea chairman is from America. He has great experience of all-star games. He knows the benefits from a financial and probably branding, and also there's that cultural thing. Is that something that can be fitting in European football? My opinion is probably not because of the calendar. But I still think it was just probably a comment that he made that was to try and improve what was already one of the best leagues in the world. And coming from America, I think culturally, I think it works.